Today we are going to do the trial method, which we skipped in our second exam. That will be in the third exam. What's wrong with everything? I hate this. Yeah. Go. Come on. Okay, so what I was saying, trial method. Before doing the trial method, I'm going to introduce you to the formal IC method, which I didn't show you before exam. So I noticed a few of you already know this method, and you think this is easier than the shortcut method. As long as you know what to do, no problem with whatever method you do. But the plan for today is to do one, start with the review of the weird SC method, and then teach you the formal SC method, then the trial method. And then most likely we have time to solve for X from the quadratic. Any question, comments, concern, complaint? Too much homework? I'm going to extend the date then for the homework. One less. Okay. The homework, I'm going to extend the date. I'll see. So we are almost done with chapter 6. So you have chapter 6 homework. And if you haven't done anything from the exam was in chapter 6, right? So yeah. So you have chapter 6, and from before you have 5 point those. Oh, I'll explain for one more week. As long as you do them, I don't mind. No problem, you're most welcome. But I want you to do all the homework with as high score as possible and the quizzes, because those are 20% of the grade. So even if you get 100 in every exam, which nobody did so far, you cannot still get B in this class, because 100 minus 20 is 80. So you get the maximum you can get is 79, which is a C. Without your homework and quizzes, the maximum you can earn with 100% in all the exam is C. And if you are a student who is getting the exam score below, let's say 60 or below 50, then your only hope is the MyMathLab. If you have very high on MyMathLab homework and quizzes, then with this scores, you can still have a chance to pass this class. But if you have this exam score and low homework and quiz score, you have no hope. Let's say we score low on the final exam, but then on the final, would it matter if we get the final is 30%. So if you get high score, very high score in the final, there is a hope to pass if your MyMathLab is high. So, okay, so let's say our class, let's say on the test, you got like a 60, 60, 60, still low homework. On the final, we just need to get a 60 to pass. You just need a 50 to pass. The final, as long as we have above average, above 60, combining your homework and exam score, and you get 50, at least 50 in the final, you pass this class. But if you have, let's say, final is 30%. So let's say you have 70%. So you did all the homework perfectly. You got all 100% in the exam and everything. But he fails the final exam with, let's say 48, he failed the class. In the final exam, the passing grade is 50. You have to have at least 50 to pass this class. On the final. Final doesn't need 60. You need 50 to pass the final. The master formula would change the rule. They already are very nice. Because what was the rule before you guys came in? The rule was you have to have 73 as passing grade. Now it was 73, the passing grade, but now they lowered it to 60. If you have 60, the overall average, you pass this class. But until last year, you had to have 73 average to pass this class. So they're being nice. They're already being so nice. 60. As long as you average all the exam, final, homework, quiz, all the average up to 60, you are ready to go.
There are the ones that made the final exam, or you individual?
Department made the final. We don't even get to see the final until the final date, the final exam date, half an hour before the final. But based on the previous final, I know whatever question mostly they put. So that's why in every class I said, this will be in the final. This will be in the final. So they probably change 1 or 2 questions. Besides that, they all are same from previous finals. Any other question, any other curiosity you have? Okay, so let's refresh our memory with 3 times factoring. What do you see? Anytime it says factor, what you supposed to look for first?
Yeah.
Good. Always. Even if you have it or you don't have it, it doesn't matter. You always see, do you have DCF? That should be your first attempt for every factoring question. So here, do you see any DCF? Good job. So you factor out your x, and then what is left?
7x squared.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Minus
2. And now how do you know which method you have to use? Direct factoring or AC? How do you know it's AC? Because you have an A. That's the best thing you can do. If you see an A, it has to be AC methods. Okay. If you don't see an A, means A is 1, it's direct factoring. Means you go ahead and factor directly. But here we cannot factor directly because you have a problem A. So the weird AC method I taught you is that ignore your A. So keep writing your x squared and 13x. But instead of C, what do you have to write? 14. So 7 times -2, that gets you -14. You write -14. What is our goal? Why did you do that? So what it tells us, like if you don't have any number, that means what? We factor directly. There is no A, there is no AC method. Multiply 2 numbers to -14, 14, and then add up to the middle term, which is positive 13. So what 2 numbers? 14 and 1. Which one is bigger, 14 or 1? So what sign 14 must get? Good. Why?
because the bigger number has to have the first.
The middle sign, always. So from 14, if you want to get 13, do you need to add 1 or do you need to subtract 1? Subtract 1. How are you going to split your square, x squared? Each box gets what? X and X. So you factor directly, our life became easier. And now it's time to bring your A back. Justin, question or answer, which one?
Divided by 14.
Good. 14 is divisible by 7, so you're going to divide 14 by 7. And what happens to the other box? We multiply only the x by 7. So divide whichever is divisible, multiply the variable whichever is not divisible.
On the other side, x minus 14 x.
Same thing. You only look at the number. If number is divisible by A. So what is our final result? All the factors. What are the factors we have? X or GCF. And the next one is? No. What is 14 divided by 7? 2. So X plus 2. And the last one is?
7x
minus 1. So that's how you divide it by 7 to make it smaller.
since it's divided by 7 is gonna go into other x. Always.
Always one of the number going to be divisible by your a, the other one will not. Whichever is not divisible by a, you multiply the variable by a, and whatever number is divisible by a, you divide by a. So between 14 and 1, only 14 is divisible by a. So you divide. 1 is not divisible by a, so you multiply only the variable, not the entire thing, the variable only. And that's why this is called weird, because this is weird. We do something weird. But come on. But good thing it's much better than the formal essay method. So what is formal essay method? In formal essay method, we use the grouping method. When to use grouping method? For how many terms? 4 terms. So when you are given 3 terms, we rewrite the 3 terms into 4 terms, and then we use grouping. For example, if you have 3x squared plus 7x minus 20, we are going to write our 3x squared, and we are going to write our 20. But the middle term, we are going to split into 2 pieces so that we can have 4 terms from 3 terms. So how do you know what goes in the middle? We do the same thing. We multiply a with the c. 3 times negative 20. What is 3 times negative 20? And then we do the same thing. Find 2 numbers, multiply to AC, and add up to your middle term 7. What are they? 2 numbers, if you multiply them, you get 60. If you combine them, you get 7. You guys are slower than my morning class. In morning class, they give me the answer right away. 6 and 10 doesn't give you 7. What else? What 2 numbers, when you multiply, you get 60?
5 and 12.
5 and 12, see? So you need to know when do you get 60? 60 is 1 times 60. We don't get 7. And then 2 times 30. We don't get 7. 3 times 20. Do you get 7? 4 times how much is 60? 4 times 15. Do you get 7? Yeah. 5 times 12. Do you get 7? Yep. And if you want to try more, 6 and 10, we don't get 7. So these are all the factors we have for 60. Our candidate is 5 and 7. So we write 12 and 5. What sign 12 must have? Positive, good. That means if you want to get 7, what sign 5 has to get? Plus sign or minus? Minus. So we rewrite our 7 using plus 12x minus 5x. So the 7x turn into this.
And now there is 4 terms.
Good. Grouping. So you're going to do grouping, and then group number 1, group number 2. What is the GCF in group number 1? 3x. When you factor it out, what is left in your first group? 1x.
Plus 3x.
But you already took the x out. 4. So you have 3x squared plus 12x. You factored out 3x. That means you're dividing. So 3 cancel out, you get x. X cancel out, you get 4. So you have X plus 4. Now your second group, how your second group starts with? With what?
Negative.
So what do you have to do? Anytime you start something negative, what do you have to do? Factor it out. You don't want to start your with negative, right? So factor out so you don't have to see the negative. So what is the DCF in the second group? Definitely a negative because your group starts with negative. -5. And now most common mistake you made in your exam yesterday. When you factor out -5, what is left in the second group? X plus 4. Then why did you tell me yesterday it was X minus 4? I mean, I didn't give you X minus 4, but you didn't give me the sign changed. You gave me the same sign as the sign you have in front of C. So almost, so you have 27. So I think almost 17 of you had this wrong. You did not change this sign. You forgot. Almost 17 of you. Okay. Anytime you divide, please do this math. If you can do it mentally, make it visible. Whatever you're doing, whatever you're taking out as a common factor, you're dividing your group by that GCF. So -5 divided by -5 is positive X. Most people got it good. But then you have -20 by -5. What happened to the sign? It becomes positive. So please do not make the same mistake in future. Otherwise, you'll be doomed. So what do you see in both group?
We have the same, so we have to
Factor it out. So now what is left in the first group?
3x minus
3x and then -5. And this is our final answer. So this is the formal AC method. You rewrite the middle term using two numbers that using two factors that make AC, and then group them. Now compare this with the trial method. Let's do it using not trial, sorry, weird AC method. Weird AC. We have 3x squared plus 7x minus 20. What do we write? Next line is what? You multiply AC, so 3 times -20, we get -60. So how do you rewrite our second line? Good. Perfect. And then what do we do next? So we factor directly because you see there is no x, there is no a. X plus 12, x minus 5. And then what do we do?
we have to bring back the 3, subtract.
Not subtract. Not subtract, divide.
12 and put in x. So it will give us x plus 4 and 3x minus 5.
Which one faster?
The weird.
It took us only 1, 2, 3, 4 sentences, 4 lines, with less work. But grouping method is same 4 lines, but you have to add so many things between. But whatever is easier for you guys. Okay, I'm not forcing you on anything. Whatever is easier is that method. Any question? No. And now comes our last method, trial and guess. It's called trial and guess because you're going to do so many trials and then you guess which one is correct. So let's do an example. Let's say we have 14p squared plus 29p minus 15. And they are saying I'm giving you 3 choices. Tell me which one is correct if you factor this quadratic. We use trial method. It's same as AC method, but we don't use AC method because if you multiply A and C, 14 times 15, you get a big number. And then you get confused. What 2 numbers will give you that number and add up to the middle number. Okay? But you can use AC method. But instead of AC, it's better to use trial. Why? Because it will take your brain to work less amount of time and less amount of work. So what we do in this method is we factor our A term and factor our C term. Now, what are the factors we have for 14? 1 times 14 is 1 pair. And what's the other pair? 2 times 7. Now, for 15, what are the pairs we have? First, we have 1 and 15, right? 1 times 15 is 15. And then we have 3 and 5, 15. So we have 2 pairs in each. Total, we have 4 pairs. And if you want to play with 4 pairs, you're going to play at least 16 times. So definitely it's a bad idea. However, this is the faster method if you have multiple choices given to you. Good news, in the final exam, they will give you multiple choices for this question. When you A and C is big, it usually falls under multiple choice question. So what do we do? For 14, how do we decide which pair, 114 or 27? We look at all the choices. What do we have in the first number? 2, 7, 7. So which pair you think gonna work? 2, 7. So our best candidates from this 4 number is 2 and 7. These are the choices. They have either 2 or 7. And now for 15, which one do you think going to work? 115 or 35? How do you know? Because all the choices, they have either 5 or 3. So definitely, these are the 2 numbers we are going to work with. So that's how we decide which pair to start with. That means we don't need our 14, 1, these big numbers. We ignore them completely. And now we are going to do our trial. We are going to play with them. Take one number from A, one number from C, multiply them. And then the other number from A, other number from C, multiply them. And see if we add the 2 products, we look at the middle term. For example, let's say I want to pair 7 with 3. So how much we get? Oh, these are p's because we have p square. So if we have 7p times 3, what do you get? 21p. And if you multiply 2p with 5, how much you get? 10p. If we add them, do you get 29? If we subtract them, do you get 29? No. So the pair I made, then I'm going to work. They're going to get divorced soon if you let them marry. Okay? So don't let them marry. Now change your pair. Come on. Now pick 7 and go with 5. So what is 7p times 5? 35p. 35p. And go 2 and 3. What do you get? 6p. Let me make this clear. Oh, 35. So 35p and 6p. If we add them, do we get 29? But how about if we subtract them? Yes, we get 29. Now between 35 and 6, which one is bigger? What sign 35 must get? Good. So 35 is positive and 6 has to be negative. And now we decide the sign. By default, 2 and 7, whatever you get for A, they're always positive. So this 2p has to be positive, this 7p has to be positive. Because positive 2 times positive 7 going to give you positive 14, and we're happy. Now, we get 35 from 7 and 5. If 7 is positive, what sign 5 has to have? 7 plus 5 is negative 35, but you know 35 has to be positive. If their product is positive, that means both of them have to be positive, right? So 5 must be positive, otherwise 35 cannot be positive. Now, don't look at the choices. We look at the choices to get these factors, and we are done. We don't look at the choices until we complete our factors. So here we have negative 6. We got them from 2 and 3. 2 cannot be negative. So what sign 3 has? 2 times 3 is negative 6. 3 has to be negative, otherwise how can we get negative 6? We must have negative 6, we get 29. So our 3 cannot be negative, so 3 must be negative. A always should be positive. Okay, always. Unless they mention we have a negative. So A always positive. These two signs, you have to decide which one makes sense to get the result. So once you decide your factor with their signs, you are done. We got our 2 factors. We put them together. One box get 2p, the other box get 7p. Now we multiply 2 with the negative 3. So if you put negative 3 here, can you multiply 2 with the negative 3? Is it possible? So negative 3 has to be in the other box, so that we can multiply with the 2. So what goes with the 2p? Plus 5. And then you can always check. For the first time, it's a lot, but once you keep doing it, you see the answer right away. So we can multiply 2 times 3, we get negative 6p. We multiply 7 times 5, we get 5. So it does work. Negative 6p from here to here, positive 35p, exactly what we have here. So step 1, break down your A, break down your C, based on the choices. Step 2, play with them. See which pair are not going to get divorced. They will live a long life. So make them together. Once you have your pairs, then put them together in different houses. So 3 steps, not bad. Let's do one more together, and then you're going to do a few by yourself. So we have 12x squared, 28x, and 15. For 12, we have 3 pairs. It could be 1 times 12. It could be 3 times 4. It could be 2 times 6, right? 2 times 6, 12. 3 times 4, 12. 1 times 12, 12. And for 15, we already know because we already did that. Either it's 1 and 15 or 3 and 5. So which one you think? Oh, I forgot to mention. So from the left page, it says pick the correct choice. Which one is correct choice? The middle one. So for this 12 and 15, which pair we pick? The first one says 1x. So we have 1 here. What's wrong with my ink? The next one says 2x and 6x. So we have 2x here and 6x here. So for which factor you have both of them? 112 or 26? 26. That means there is a high possibility this is going to work. If they give you another choice with 12, then you have to do the trial 2 times. But good news, they didn't give us 12. So you're going to ignore 1 and 12. They gave us 2 and 6 both. So you have to work with those. And how about 15? 115 or 35? 35. We have only 5, 5, and 3. So these are the choices we have, 3, 5. Once you decide, now go ahead and play. What do you want to combine? One from A, one from C. So just pick anything. 6 goes with what? 3 or 5? Which one you want to do? Okay, 6 with 3, what do you get? 18x. That means 2 and 5. How much you get? 10x. If you combine them, do you get 28x? Yay, we got it for the first time. Now, 28 is negative, right? So between 18 and 10, which one must be negative? 18. Now, if you have negative 18, then what do you have to do with the 10 so that the result becomes negative 28? Are you going to add 10 or subtract 10? Subtract. If you add, that means you get negative 8. If you subtract, you get negative 20. You have to add the numbers, you have to have the same sign, but same sign. So you keep the sign, but actually add the numbers. So 18 and 10 give you 28. If 18 is negative, 10 has to be negative to get the result negative 28. It's the addition subtraction rule. If you want to add a negative number, that means you have to have both of them negative, so that the sign is negative, but actually add the numbers. Anytime you have two different, if you want to subtract something, they have to be opposite sign, always. So we know we have to add 18 and 10 to get 28, but the result is negative 28. That means you have to have both negative 18 and negative 10, so you get negative 28. So by default, 2 and 6 cannot be negative. So if you want to get negative 18, what sign 3 must get? We got 6 and 3, negative 18. 6 cannot be negative, so what is 3? Must be negative. We got 10 from 2 and 5. 2 cannot be negative, so what is negative 5? Because their product is positive 12. So whatever you factor, the both factor, they have to be positive. So we decided our two numbers, we decided our sign. Now it's time to put them together.
But the 15 value is also positive.
Why do you see 15?
Saying that the first.
Yeah. So what is negative 3 times negative 5? Positive 15. Okay, so now let's put them together. One box will get 2x, the other one gonna get 6x. What goes next to the 2? You multiply 2 with negative 5. So you put them together, can you multiply them? So next to the 2, you have to have negative 3. You want to have negative 5 here so that you can multiply 2 with the 5 and 6 with the 3. Exactly what you do here. 2 with the 5, 6 with the 3.
So we have to write them off.
So it's like you let them date, but you never get them married. Like break up. Not possible.
So the right answer would be the last.
6x minus 5. Yep. And you can always check by distributing. So you're not distributing, using FOIL.
I just want to know how 10 has to add up to.
So you multiply 2 with the 5, right? 2 with the negative 5. If you put them together on the same house, can you multiply 2 and 5? Exactly. So you have to have them opposite house so that you can multiply them and get 10. So 2 multiply 3, 5 here, y has to be on the other side. So like you're going to date them.
Yeah.
So go ahead, enjoy, but you cannot live together. See? They'll live in separate house. That's the rule. Exactly. Not divorce. Like they can openly date, but they cannot openly live together. It's a weird combination. Now go ahead, enjoy. I have a few. Once you're done, I have to do 4 of them. So let me know once you're done with this one. Let me check the attendance. Meantime. Today is 13. Shake. I saw you somewhere, right? Yeah. Christian. Christina. Christopher. Danielle. Develop. Dennis. Idaliz. Jared. Jay. You don't have to work alone, you can talk with your neighbors. Joshua. Justin. Caitlin. Kelly. Kyle. Lady. Absent. Muntaha. Nayari. Nicholas I. Nicholas S. Aresti. Rana. Ricardo. Taj. Mora. And Zichi. So absent Ricardo. Lady. Develop. Christina. And Christian. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If you're done with the left, go ahead and do the right. Find the 2 vectors and then circle the correct one from the given choices. What are you doing with that? Who needs help?
You're going to be using the same number that the pilot was.
Yes, please. Yes, please. Which letter goes back? You don't know. You don't know. I can't find it.
Yeah, happy there. So add.
You take one from here, one from there. There are only one of them. But once you decide them for this one, make them find the 2 vectors. So do whatever you need to do. Take one number from there. So 6. Which one you want to get is 3 or 5. So if I can say 18, 18 here, right? And then you need to do 3 and 5. So 10, 10. So if you add and subtract, you get 8. This one add and subtract. So 18 began as 18 now.
Yeah, they got to get there yet. Got it. Yeah, okay, I got this part.
So you have 2 from 6.
Basically.
And how did you so these are always 5.
Which one's in that?
Which means that we have to
based on option.
One of them is going to get single access, right? So one of them is 2x, the other one is 6x. That's how you get to the next step. And now, which one goes, which is here, five, which one goes to 6? So multiply 2 together. That's how you get that. And put them together, so you multiply now. So, yeah, bring the time to the another question. So you're gonna go. And I have 2 more. Two more, last 2 more. These are the last 2. So you want to get 27. So you have 42, 15, 3 or 27. Which one has to be positive? You think 42, 42. Good. This is positive, this is positive or worse. And it's going to get positive 42. So 6 times positive 7, then it gives positive 42. Positive 7 or negative 7? 6 times positive 7 is positive 42. So put positive 7. And then you want to get negative 15. 3 times positive 5 when you give me negative. That's what you said. The first you guys can fix. Fix to the time here. It's 5 positive 2. So but that's you to give me more. One of them is this one.
-5 because you want -5.
So that's the impact factor. I don't get that factor. Oh, we found 2 factors. So for this one, what is the other factor? Now, look at this. Yes, 6 and 2. Morning factor is supposed to have 2 factors. One part will get us 6 times, the other one will get 6. 63. Why not just 3? And this
Oh, no, I just said, I think that's what. Oh, I just said, I don't know. Yeah, I think that's right.
For 18 minutes.
But I would break that. Oh, you didn't have. Multiply to be. Oh, this is right. You know it. Oh, break it down. Why don't we do all five?
You have three, you use the first number. So which one has 3 and 6? So this is the high choice. So then you take 2 and 1. You only have 6 and 4.
So whatever number you see most.
Not most, but whatever you see. So you have 3 and 3, 6. These are the only choices. So you have 2 and 6. And for 35, you only 5 and 7. So you have 2 and 5 and 7. And then it's quick. With one count.
I don't know.
So you have 27x, and you say x is to next square.
Oh, I know. But the.
So we have 12, 25. So that finds it wrong. So this is 127.
Yeah.
So 42.
Yeah.
Now you get 42 from 6 and 7. These are positive.
I'm not.
6 and 7 So, now 3 and 5, 15. So your size are correct, your numbers are correct. And I wanted to do is put the They are dating, so remember, they cannot put it together. So you have to put them in separate boxes. One by one. Who would like to try C? Justin.
All right. That is we with factor 12, so 1 and 12, 3 and 4, and 6 and
1, 12, 3, 3, 4, 2, 6. So which pair we are going to work with? 6 and 2. We have 3, but they didn't give us 4, so we are not going to work that. So we have 2x and 6x. So which pair? We have 5 and 3, so we're going to work with this.
-5, which is
So 6 times 5 is 30.
-6 and +3, so I got 18. Then it's +2 and -5, which is -10.
You decide the sign later. First, you're going to show me pairing. So you take one of these and pair with the other one. So you get 18x. Then you take the other two, you get 10x. The result, we want 8x. 8x is positive, so 18 is supposed to have what sign? Biggest factor, 10 has to be negative. Now for positive 18, we have positive 6 and positive 3. That's how we get positive 18. It's simple. But for negative 10, we have 2 and 5. 2 cannot be negative, so 5 has to be what sign? Negative. So first pick your choices, then pick the sign. Once you have the sign, you are done. So tell me what the factors we have.
6x minus 5 and 2x
6x minus 5 and 2x
plus 3.
plus 3. So we have 6x minus 5 as a correct choice. So here when we played 2 and 5. That means we cannot have them together because we need to multiply them. So they have to be on the other houses. Good. Who would like to try D?
I have the numbers, but I'm a little bit confused.
Okay, tell me your numbers. What do you have for 18?
Okay, we have 3 for 18, 3x and 6x.
Good.
And -7 and +5.
So you want to have -7 and +5. Don't decide the sign first. Skip the sign because you need to decide it later based on every other information. So what is your pair?
So my pair was 5 and 6x.
So 5 and 6, how much you get?
42x.
No, 5 and 6 gonna give you 30x. 6, 7 give you 42.
Yeah, 6 and 7.
Oh, come on. So when you are dating, you are letting 6 and 7, you get 42x.
And
3 and 5,
and 5, that will give me
15x. So do you need to add them or do you need to subtract them?
And that will give me 27x.
So we have positive 42, negative 15. That's why your signs are wrong, because you picked the wrong sign. Since 42 is positive, both 6 and 7, they have to be positive. Since 15 is negative, 3 cannot be negative. So 5, what sign 5 has to have? Negative. So what are the two factors we have?
We have 6x minus 5
Good.
and 3x plus 7.
Perfect.
And the correct answer will be the middle one.
The middle one is 3x minus 7. Last one. Be very careful. People actually do make this type of mistake in the exam. They pick the wrong choice and then the entire thing is 0.
Thank you.
Why don't what?
Negative 5.
Whatever you are multiplying, they cannot be together. So what you multiply? 6 and 7. So you cannot have them together in the same house. So 6x in one house, 7 has to be in the other house. How did I get 6x minus 7? So you multiplied 6 with the 7, that means you cannot have them in the same house. So if you cannot have 7 next to the 6, what other option you have? So A has to be the first term, C has to be the last term. So multiply A with the A, you get the first term. Multiply C with the C, you get the last term. Okay, who'd like to try E? Elise, you can do the last one. 3 and 5x. So which pair are going to work? 3x and 5x, right, for 15. So you have 1, 15, 3 and 5. We have 3, 5, and 1. Unfortunately, for 1, they did not give us 15, but they gave us for 3 and 5. So we're going to use 3x and 5x. And for 42, 7 and 6. How did you play with them? 3 times 6 gives us 18x. 35x. From here, do we get 17? So 17 has to be plus. So which one is positive? 35. And what sign 18 has to have to get 17 from 35? Negative. So since 35 we got from 7 and 5, 5 is always positive. So what is the 7 sign for the 7? Yeah. 5 times negative 7 is negative 35. What type of 35 we have?
Positive.
So 7 has to have what sign? Positive. So you look at the product. Product going to tell you what sign they will be. So these are always positive.
I got to be.
Now 18 is negative. We got from 3 and 6.
6.
That's how we decide our sign. And the sign will be different only in the C term, okay? A is always positive, always. So it is what two factors we have? 3x plus 7, 5x minus 6. So since we multiplied 5 with 7, definitely cannot have them on the same box. So 7 here, 5 here, they are the opposite box. And 3 and 6 was a double box. So which one is correct? Which choice? 3x plus 7, the middle one. Muntaha, the last one.
My two choices, 2, 14, and then 4 and 7.
So 2, we have 128, 214, 4 and 7. So we have 4, 7, and 28. So 28, 4, and 7. So which one is? So correct choice is this one. So we have 4x and 7x. For 17, yeah, it's a prime number, only 1 and 17.
Between them, so I have 7 and 1.
7 and 1 gives us 7x. We get 68x. When you combine, do you get 61? So we want to have negative 61. So which one is bigger, 68 or 7? So what sign 68 have to have? Negative. So what sign 7 has to have? Positive.
First, I have 4x.
But you have to decide the sign for 1 and 17. Mm-hmm.
So for the numbers, I have positive 1. And I have
One have to be positive because 7 plus positive 1 give you positive 7.
negative 17.
17 has to be minus because we have negative 68. So what two factors we get? 4x plus 1 minus 17. So what is our correct choice? The middle one. So in your exam, the next one, 2 points for finding these two and 1 point for picking the correct choice. 2 points. So Justin, if you don't give me these, you're losing 2 points. And you must show your squiggly thingy, how you're dating them.
So you
Okay.
and squiggly.
Uh-huh.
That's gonna get everything wrong when we show work.
Most likely not. Yeah. No. We still have 5 more minutes, guys. Yesterday, I couldn't let you go out. You are staying here, like you want to stay here forever. And why you are rushing today? Does it make sense? We have 2 more things to do. So we have a cubic perfect cube, which will not be in the exam, but these are in the homework. So you can do the homework easily if you know what's going on. So like perfect square, we have perfect cube. For perfect square, we have difference of perfect squares to be factorable, but sum is not factorable. For cubic, it doesn't matter. Remember, add, there always has something. So we have sum of perfect cube, difference of perfect cube. You know, to factor them, we take the cube root of both of them. So what number, when you multiply 3 times, you get 125? 5. So this becomes 5 cube, and this is x cube. So our base is x and 5. So all you have to do is use this formula and play with this. So the formula says, well, for subtraction, you subtract the bases. So x minus 5. And then take the first base square. Add their product. 5 times x is 5x. Lastly, add the second base square. What is 5 square? 25. And that's it. If you factor to perfect cube, this is what 2 factors you get. In other words, just memorize the formula. But in our class, you don't have to memorize that because this will not be in the exam. But this will be in the homework. Okay. So at least, huh? We had so many homework due before 17, but people are complaining. So I'll give you time. I'll split them into pieces so you can do them. Meanwhile.
But yeah, I have a question about when you get to the last one, we have the 2 factors. For example, E. How do you know which one to put the 7 and negative 6? Like, why wait for the other way? How do you know which one?
Whatever you're multiplying, they cannot be together. So what you multiply here, 5 and 7. You cannot have 5 and 7 in the same box. So 5x has to be in one box, 7 has to be in the other box. So that you can multiply them at the end.
Oh,
So your goal is to multiply. So if you have them on the same inside the same parentheses, you cannot multiply them. Distribution doesn't work in the same box. So in order to multiply, you have to have another box. So that's what I said. Like, let them date, have fun, enjoy, but they cannot live together. So here we have 7 and 1. They are dating, they're enjoying. But when it comes to the living, 7 in one box, 1 is to be in another box. They cannot multiply. Exactly. So whatever you multiply, Go to the other box to get live together. Okay, the last concept. Once you know your factors, now you're going to solve. Go ahead.
The example. Oh, we had something like that similar in the exam. So we were supposed to only do the second step.
No, it did not have any cubic.
No. What's different? The answer was prime for the.
No, for the 4th degree, they are not prime. Okay, you want me to go over the 4th degree? No problem. We have, let's say, x to the 4 minus 81. So is 4 a perfect square number? Yes, we have x to the 4. Any even power is perfect. Is 81 a perfect square number? So what is square root of x to the 4? And what is square root of 81? So these are the two bases you have. So what do you do with them? Plus 9.
X squared minus.
Good. Now this one is sum of perfect squares. So what do you do?
Nothing.
Nothing. And how about this one? X.
X minus.
Good.
And you have to put it.
Bring this down. That's why it's 3 points. 1, 2, 3. So if you give me this line, I'm going to give you 1 point for this one. These are not completed. And I said factor completely. Okay. Okay, I'm going to show you the solving tomorrow. Not tomorrow, I know, next class. Yeah. So if you think you didn't do well in the exam, please review your factoring 2 times, 3 times, 4 times. The next section depends on your factoring. When you solve, first you have to factor and then you solve. So if you don't even know how to factor, how are you going to get solving? So revisit your materials, guys. I am actually absent. So let me fix that. Oh, and one more reminder. Next Friday, there is no class. There is no school. Next Friday. No POTL, nothing.
Okay. Thank you.
School is closed next Friday.
Our house.
Mhm.